was a great argument, guys. I think we made a lot of progress. I think we're all closer because
No,
she's a piece of crap.
He was born from his mother's anus.
That's mean.
So
that's
I think.
rude.
But she's
It's
right.
actually the truth.
I've never heard such nasty words.
Guys,
I
this is
hope,
really
I hope
nasty,
you die in
man.
a
Just
fire.
please.
I really do.
All right, well, so now that we've built this
I think it's
happy,
probably nice if I
beautiful
said that.
family, it's time for us to tear it apart and totally change it.
What?
Jake, you're getting a sex change.
Whoa.
Ooh.
Hey!
Party.
Alright, I'll just snap my fingers and it'll happen.
See, totally different person, equal
Hotter version.
representation, right?
Straight
Equal
up.
representation.
Straight
Wow.
up, yo.
This is straight up
Whoa.
different than the previous Jake.
This is pretty kooky, isn't
Jake,
it?
Pretty
I know.
straight
Jake
up.
Part 2.
This is some
It's like-
witchcraft here. This
Yeah,
is
it's
witchcraft.
like very incestual in a way. It's like our
Yeah.
family just kind of like had. You know what that reminds me of? You know
Oh
what
my
that
God.
reminds me of, guys? Star Wars.
Oh.
Star Wars.
Yeah,
Star
because
Wars.
there was incest in Star Wars, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Old Boy,
And-
actually. Old Boy.
Oh,
I hear you
yeah.
guys have a lot to say about Old
Oh,
Boy.
yeah.
but
Party's
Hollywood,
time.
This is good.
Hollywood wants to remake this movie. Our question is, should they? We're going to start off with our better Jake 2.0.
Right.
Jake, what are your thoughts?
No.
No. Okay,
No.
moving on. Ebit, what are your thoughts?
You know, I honestly don't think so either. I really
I
like
win.
the original Old Boy. But no, Edward, convince me.
Is it my
convince
turn?
me, Edward.
You mean be
Why don't you
convinced?
convince
You
me?
want to be convinced?
Why don't you
dude?
Have your
You're
argument so
so
we can
bad.
tear it apart.
Convince me, bro. Convince me.
All right, here's how it works. Like, first of all, the director matters. Spike Lee matters. If it was anyone else, I would think they were just going to be playing ball with the studios and making a studio version.
They'd just be passing strange.
God damn it.
Are we making reference now?
But Spike Lee's got Jungle Fever. but but no, SpikeLee has a history, I think, as we all know, of doing things his own way, and I think
He does the right
that'll
thing.
be interesting. Damn
I
it.
thought you were going to say Coke. Go on.
So he will do something with it that will be stylistic, the way that the original film was. It'll be different, but it won't be a generic studio, like just another output of the studios. I think another important detail. People like get really revved up these days, like, oh, Hollywood's not original. Adaptations, sequels. Hollywood has historically always done adaptations. Like every generation of Hollywood has relied bread and butter on pre-sold property adaptations.
So don't you think that's bad though?
Not necessarily, because here's the thing: adaptations are their own unique creative works. They jump off from the books. Like, have you seen the film adaptation of East of Eden and then read the book? Like, they're completely different. The book is like this generational drama. The film is like James Dean is cool, right? Totally different, but an adaptation.
The problem is that so-called the new remake is actually not going to be based on the manga. Okay, well, I think they did say that, but there are a lot of differences that they're actually not going to put
Right.
in the movie that's based on the manga. So it's actually going to be a direct remake off of Old Boy.
Yes, but you're aware that unless you do it the way that, like, was it Todd Haynes? No, it was Gus Van Sant who reshot Psycho with, like, frame by frame. Unless you reshoot it frame by frame, you're going to have a very different movie, especially with a very different, like, perspective from a very different director. Like, Park Chan-wook's films, Spike Lee's films, preoccupied with different themes.
I have to.
Is Spike Lee going to have imply some race in this? Is he going to make it about
Maybe.
Yeah,
black
some
people?
political
no,
undertones,
actually,
racial
No political
tensions.
undertones.
I have to say, though, that this actually really reminds me of the two films Wreck and Quarantine, and I think that the reasons for the remake is honestly because it's not in English.
Right, and
I
that's...
think that, you know, that...
People are lazy. They don't want to read
Americans deserve our own
subtitles.
incest
Yeah,
story.
exactly.
And I think
At least
that
Tennessee does.
it's sort
Well,
of
no,
like
spoilers.
keeping it American, keeping it English, like taking art that's made in another language and, like, you know, watering it down for us.
Right, and the ideology behind it's problematic, but you can produce great art from it, right? And I think that Spike Lee, on the race thing, like, have you seen Inside Man? Inside Man is not explicitly about race. It is a Spike Lee movie. It features some conversations about race very briefly, but it, like, he is capable of stepping outside of this, like, dome that we put him in as a black filmmaker. And I think that his other preoccupations of family obsession, will suit the subject matter really well.
Okay, I'm gonna stop you there. Okay, I'm just gonna give the audience a little bit of history just in case they don't know it.
Educated.
Old Boy is a movie, Korean movie, directed by Park Chan-wook, a
Nice.
2003 movie,
Yeah,
and
don't-
actually 2009 there
Bleep
were
the spoilers.
talks about
Seriously.
a remake, and that was gonna be, that had Steven Spielberg and also Will Smith. Thank
Right.
God for that being dead,
I agree.
okay? I
Will
personally
Smith.
can't say anything about Spike Lee being an incompetent director or anything like that, just because I've never seen any of his movies. But the problem that I have with Old Boy being remade is that it doesn't need a remake.
That's
If
what
it ain't broke, Don't fix it.
All right, but then here's the problem.
George Lucas
This
would
Jake is
fix it.
sassy.
Okay.
All right, but let me step in there.
She's sassy.
It's not that we need it, but it could still be an interesting and aesthetically appealing, artistically engaging film. We don't need, like, a lot of the films that come out, but they crop out of, like, certain generational preoccupations. And if Spike Lee taps into something that we're preoccupied with as a generation, I say more power to him.
If they want the original story, they can go see the original. Okay.
Right. And I'm saying...
Why are people so amped up about the new Facebook changes?
Do you feel
Whoa!
The thing
Whoa!
is,
totally out of left field?
Or the new
It is unfair to
Scarface.
compare.
There's a new Scarface remake being
Right.
in the talks. Yeah.
I think the frustration is
Yeah.
that more people will probably see this in the original.
And then they're gonna be like, "Oh my god, it's so amazing! Hello, there's been an original circulating."
So you're just
The
determined to be a
world.
hipster?
and
at
it's
some
already
point?
good. No,
No, it's not that.
it's a good film, and I think that the
People
worry
need
is that
to-
people won't see the original. And
Exactly.
they'll think that this
People-
is a Spike Lee. It's like
Sure, and that's a valid concern, but I'm not concerned with how unintelligent and uninformed people view films. I mean, like,
Yeah.
like you can't be like, oh, this film will be seen by a dumb person who'll read it wrong. If you did that, you couldn't make any intelligent films.
True.
I think everybody deserves a fair choice to be able to, or I mean, that is what you're saying. Everybody deserves a fair chance to make their own piece of art,
Yeah.
if it is some form of an adaptation. But Amanda, what you are saying is that the previous film by itself is an incredible piece of art. It doesn't need to be
It's
touched.
wonderful. It's wonderful.
But-
It's absolutely beautiful.
You're good at this
Yeah.
recap thing. You're recapping
Yeah,
like
yeah,
really
yeah,
well,
yeah.
man.
I listen. I had girlfriends, not anymore.
Oh no.
Moving on. So speaking of terrible things that blow up in your face, Troll 2 and The Room.
Woo!
You've all seen
The
them.
Room.
You've probably seen them. I wonder why. Which one's the worst movie of all
why
time,
would
guys?
you say? That's the thing. I think they're
True,
amazing
too.
movies. Like, but
Convince me.
But here's the thing, though. The difference between Troll 2 and The Room is that The Room is The Room because it was made so unintentionally. It was unintentionally bad. Troll 2 was like totally self-aware.
Yeah.
But The Room, like Tommy was so.
Wait, Troll 2 was self-aware?
Can you
I
really
think
guarantee?
Troll 2 was.
No, wasn't
self-aware.
it- wasn't it-
You don't have
that-
lines like you can't piss on hospitality and
No,
not be
no.
self-aware.
No, I'm serious. Okay, the backstory for Troll 2 here. Let me give some backstory a little bit for people who may not have seen them. The Room, made by a guy named Tommy Wiseau, who thinks he's a genius, who's really, really bad at movies. Troll 2, made by a director who actually didn't speak English, the language of the screenplay, and made a really bad movie. And they're both really engaging and terrific because they're so bad.
But the thing is that Troll 2 went out specifically to make like a B horror comedy
Okay.
film, and Tommy Wiseau went out to make like the next great American romantic
I can see
story.
that.
What was it? Tennessee Williams.
Yes,
The next Tennessee Williams
yes,
masterpiece.
he really was convinced that he was going to be like this was a dramatic masterpiece, and the only reason he like claims that he's self-aware now is because of the reaction.
That's true. Let me paint a picture for you. A young boy has been seeing some strange things, and he's walking through the town he just moved into, where he's seeing the strange things, and he sees a sign that says Nilbog. This is the line that he delivers to the audience. Nilbog? That's goblin backwards. This is their kingdom!
I love it. It's wonderful. I love both of them.
Oscar right there.
What I'm saying
pretty
is,
much it.
shittiest movie.
Makes sense in Italian, though.
Yeah, it's actually really culturally relevant. I mean, it's like you have a guy who screams "Oh my god" with like the least
Oh
emphasis.
my god.
Oh my god! While the camera zooms in, like it's perfect. It's like it's so bad it's art. It's not
That's
so bad
what
it's
The Room
good.
is, though.
That's
Like,
true.
I mean, they both have the cult followings for a reason, but I think that I like The Room because I like the fact that Tommy was so completely
Crazy.
blind.
Why did he shoot the roof scenes with a green screen?
I
Why did
don't
he show us his
know.
butt? Why did he show us his butt?
Because
That's my question.
That ass. That's why.
I want to know
There's like
more.
5 sex scenes and they're all like 10 minutes long.
And then the
Some of them
R&B
repeat.
like music. And the
What
background.
happened to the mom's cancer? Where did that go?
I have.
No, I really have
definitely
cancer.
have
I
cancer.
definitely have cancer.
That was definitely
Over.
a plot line.
Over.
throwaway.
Well, everyone
So-
like it goes over to their apartment for like 2 seconds and is like, I have to go. It's like, why did you?
Some
Yeah,
people
I love
volunteer to
busy
watch.
schedules.
I feel like Tommy Wiseau is an alien, and The Room was his like college thesis
On human
American
culture.
behavior or
Yeah.
like human behavior.
Human culture. He was trying to get it really right.
He was really trying.
But the thing
hard,
is,
but
the
it's-
room doesn't have a moral the way that, like, there's so many morals in Troll 2. Like, don't piss on hospitality, right? I can walk away and, like, live my life by that.
Okay, I suppose you're right, but I mean, like,
Some
no,
people
Tommy
are.
Wiseau was like, don't be a dick to Tommy Wiseau.
Kudos to him for being able to make so much money off a crappy
Yeah, dude.
Alright,
and
guys.
letting people quote.
What was it, 6 million?
What was the Lisa line? You're
You're
tearing me apart,
Lisa!
Lisa. Kudos to him.
All right, guys. On that note, it's a good note to start wrapping this up. All right,
Right.
you each get final sentence. Room vs. Troll 2. Just final thoughts. Each of you wants to go.
The room was okay. I liked
It was
it.
okay.
The room was okay. I liked it.
Troll 2 was okay. You liked
Troll
it?
2 is okay. Well, my last thought on Troll 2 is they're eating her now. They're going to eat me next. Oh my god.
And I see that and I raise you. You're tearing me apart, Lisa.
Thank you.
All right.
Alright, guys. I think we've had an enchanting episode. We've learned
Yes.
a lot. We've crushed some souls.
We swapped some genders.
I have to
Well,
take a
it's
shower,
not
honestly.
And we changed lives. We changed lives.
We changed
Hopefully
lives
we
today.
changed your lives.
I
Guys,
now
thanks
have-
for
I
watching.
now have a disease. A skin
Oh.
disease.
Because you
actually.
touched him.
From me.
Well, thank you for watching, guys. The winner, me, of course, I had to sit through this.
Wait a
Really
minute.
serious?
appreciate it. You're watching the
I
current
won.
Capital Cineforum crossover. Check
I
out
won.
more on
Spike Lee, don't mess
TextureTV.com.
up.
You didn't do the right thing.
I did what I had to do.
Why don't we all just act like Malcolm X for a minute and just think what he would do?
But that's because it's got to have it.
Oh my god.
You're a freak. You're a freak.